What's going on, everybody? I'm your host, Ben Ballion, back with another episode of the Sports Pod. And in today's episode, I'm going to break down the World Series that just wrapped up. An 18-inning game, a 10-inning Game 7. Shohei and Vladdy went band for band. Both of them played out of their minds. There's so much to get into, and I'll get into all of it on the other side of the intro. Hit it.
DiVincenzo a three. Bang! Bang! Got the wall. He jumps. It's gone. He did it. He did it. Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career.
All right, getting into the episode, and I just want to start with how great of a World Series this was for baseball. And as a matter of fact, how great of a postseason this was for baseball. For the baseball is dead crowd, you are just flat out wrong. Baseball is alive and well, and tonight and the rest of this postseason was just another testament to it. An 11-inning instant classic Game 7. Dodgers win it 5-4. There is so much to unpack from this decisive contest. Just starting in the first inning, Vlad Guerrero Jr. takes strike 3 looking. George Springer thinks it's ball 4. He slows up as he was trying to steal second, and he gets thrown out because he thought he had the right to second base. That's a missed opportunity from the Blue Jays, and more than anything, it was just unlucky. Then in the second inning, the Blue Jays have another chance. They have the runners on first and second with either 1 or 2 outs. They get a single. Bo Bichette, running on a bum knee, cannot score from second. The Blue Jays are forced to play station to station. Then with bases loaded and 2 outs, they're not able to cash in on that run. That's a real missed opportunity. And at that point in the game, after 2 innings, the Dodgers had heavy foot traffic on the base pass in both innings. I'm like, oh man, the Dodgers are threatening every time they come to the plate. The Blue Jays have already squandered 1, kind of 2 chances. This could really swing in the direction of the Dodgers. Then, what inning was it? Then later in the game, it's Bo Bichette's second at bat. And he swings at a pitch and knocks it out of the park. It was an absolute bomb. He stands there and watches it for 10 to 15 seconds. Then he flips his bat. And on that bum knee, he just gets to jog around the bases rather than sprinting if he kept the ball in the yard. At that point, I think it's 3-0 Blue Jays. I'm like, okay, here we go. I think that was Shohei Ohtani's last inning, maybe. Yeah, it was in the third. Ohtani is removed from the game. It's 3-0 Jays. And then it went kind of dead after that. No, it didn't, because then you had the brawl a couple innings later when Andres Jimenez, a former Met, is throwing his hands at a ball, trying to get hit. Then he actually gets hit on purpose from my vantage point, from how do you say that, Robleski, something like that. Well, he was the first reliever that the Dodgers brought out of the pen. The bench is clear. The bullpen's sprint in after the fact. So you have a brawl in Game 7 of the World Series. You don't see that too often. And then in the 9th inning, it's 3-1 Blue Jays, 3-2 Blue Jays maybe? The Blue Jays are leading. The Dodgers send their 9-hitter to the plate with 1 out and a runner on first. So yeah, it was 3-1 at this point. And Miguel Rojas, the last person I would have expected to make a game-altering play, not only hit a game-tying homer that sent the game to extras, but also saved the winning run in the bottom of the 9th inning. Not 1, but 2 game-altering plays from Miguel Rojas, who I don't think anybody had him circled on their score sheet in the book. And he came up huge. But I think that just speaks to how great baseball is. Anyone can make the big play on any given night. And in Game 7, in the biggest game of the year, in the biggest game probably of his career, Miguel Rojas comes up huge. But staying in that ninth inning, now there's 2 outs after Rojas throws the guy out at home plate, and on the throw out, I forgot to mention that Will Smith nearly missed home plate when he was trying to touch the plate to collect the force out. His spike came up when he caught the ball. He barely got it down in time to retire the base runner. But disaster almost struck. It went to replay, and at that point, you can't overturn that call to end the World Series. So I wasn't too worried about the game ending right there. But then on the next batter, I can't remember who it was. Let's see, in the bottom of the ninth, it was Ernie Clement, who has been amazing for Toronto in this series. He flew out to deep left field. It says to center on ESPN's play-by-play, but that's because Andy Paez just completely blindsided Kike Hernandez. And both Hernandez and Paez were playing in shallow in the outfield. I don't know why. Maybe you're thinking you want to throw a runner out at third or second, but I think that's just so unlikely. So the ball is sent way back to the left field fence. And it's Kike Hernandez kind of has a read on it, would have had a play, but it wasn't certain that he wasn't going to come down with it. Andy Paez, on the other hand, took a great angle to the ball. He was sprinting all the way from his position in center field, found his way to the left field warning track, bumped into Hernandez as both Dodgers jumped in the air. And it was Andy Paez who came down with the baseball and sent the game to extra innings. And then in extra innings, in the bottom of the 11th, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., after it leads off the inning, after Will Smith gives the Dodgers the lead with a go-ahead homer that was demolished. I think it went up to the upper deck out in left field. And then in the bottom half, Vladdy leads off. He hooks a double down the left field line. The Blue Jays have life. Runner in scoring position. No one out. Bottom of the 11th. And they're down a run. Then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa comes up and drops a bunt to advance Vlad to third, which, let me just say this. Bunting in a huge playoff game, in a Game 7, is such an underrated skill. And with IKF coming from the Yankees, you don't know if he has that in his bag. But as a Blue Jay, the Blue Jays are very fundamental. So I expected him to have it, but his Yankee background would speak otherwise. After the Kiner-Falefa sack bunt, it's runner on third, nobody out. Addison Barger walks. Alejandro Kirk, the last hope for the Blue Jays, grounds into a double play. Your Los Angeles Dodgers are World Series champions. Now, just taking a step back, there were a couple players on the Dodgers that were just on another level in this series. Obviously, Shohei Ohtani. What he did was not normal. He is not a human. He is a robot. I mean, if some players can just do it whenever they want at the plate. Some players can just turn it on whenever they want on the mound. Nobody, and I mean nobody, has the ability to do it from both the plate and the mound. Shohei Ohtani is just ridiculous. I mean, Avi, I'm going to point to the NLCS because that Game 4 where he hit 3 bombs while throwing 6 innings of shutout baseball while racking up 10 strikeouts, nobody does that. The only guys you hear that are kind of on the same level is Babe Ruth, and he was doing it against baseball players who had other jobs. They weren't exclusively playing baseball. Shohei Ohtani is ridiculous. And then Yamamoto, the World Series MVP, is the other guy I want to highlight because I feel like he was pitching or in the bullpen warming up to pitch on each and every night. He threw 117 pitch complete game in game 2 of the series. And then just 4 days later in game 4, he was in the bullpen getting ready to warm up. He came out again tonight. He had 3 wins across the 7 games. Not normal. Not normal. And then flipping the script to the Blue Jays. Vladdy had a ridiculous postseason, and he put the Blue Jays on his back and tried to do everything to win that game 7. I mean, it's not too often you get a first baseman that played as well as Vladdy and changed the game as much as Vladdy did. And for a big fella, I was surprised with how well Vladdy moved. I mean, he was hustling on a couple times on the bases. And then tonight, there was like a hooking line drive down the first baseline that Vladdy went full Superman. He was parallel to the ground. He laid out and made the grab. He was a game changer. And I mean, just taking an even bigger step back and looking at this series, looking at this postseason, there were at least 3 instant classics in my mind. The 15-inning Game 5 between Seattle and Detroit. The 18-inning marathon in Game 4 of this series. And then tonight, where the Dodgers reign victorious over the Blue Jays 5-4. I mean, awesome stuff. Rob Manfred had to be loving every moment of that playoff experience. Such a good look for baseball. And I'm already ready to get to opening day next year. Let's just skip spring training. Let's skip free agency. Let's get to March 31st, April 1st, whatever date opening day is. I feel like they keep making it earlier and earlier every year. I think Yankees-Dodgers is the opening game of the 2026 season. Let's get to then already. I'm ready for more baseball. But for now, go check out all my socials. They're all linked in the description below. You can leave a comment, like, share, follow, subscribe on this video. I really appreciate all the love. Also, you can leave a voicemail with your sports questions and takes at the number 848-305-8073. Again, that's 848-305-8073. And last but not least, make sure you keep it locked with the Sports Pod.